This is Redivider, which I would say is the weirdest thing we've ever done. The song is a word palindrome, or you could say it's a mirror song, because the lyrics to the song go from A to B and then meet in the middle and then go from B to A. The idea of this album is, things being circular, and the idea that we live and we move and we die in circles. And so Redivider basically based the aesthetic for this record, because in every page you'll see the ink blot in the middle, which, as you know, the Rorschach ink blots are made by creating symmetry, and since our faces recognize symmetry, it makes people identify shapes and archetypes within the ink. Redivider, as a kind of illness or struggle, talks about bipolar disorder, which I was diagnosed with at one point. So I wanted to write a song that literally was bipolar, was going from pole to pole, was going from manic to depressive to manic. I don't know if that makes sense how I'm trying to explain Redivider, but it flips. And so exactly in the middle of the song, time-wise, I forget how many minutes and seconds it is, but I reach the middle and I say, "Then dead reflections saw you, I did, didn't I didn't, did I, you saw reflections." It flips, and the idea is that the song starts with, "I am autonomous, you told Father, first immortal, but now fleeting." And at the end, it says, "First Father told you, autonomous am I." Dealing with not just like the internal pain and the emotions of someone with bipolar, but also like the view of reality of like, I'm everything, to at the end, I was saying I'm everything to God and feeling like larger than life, and then seeing that God is actually speaking to me and I'm back here in my own like pathetic self, realizing how actually small I am. The song is a mirror, and musically also kind of follows that ABA structure. Initially when the song came together, I knew that it had to be this, and it took me a very, very, very long time. I don't recommend writing songs in palindromes or in any kind of word tricks, because it gets really quite confusing. And as we were recording, Will's like, "Hey, what if this part switched?" And I was like, "It can't. It will ruin this like little art experiment that I'm doing with the song." There's actually no footnotes in this song because we felt like that would take away from the mirrored perspective. Basically, with this song, wanting people to experience almost you're running up to a mirror, staring into it, and then all of a sudden you become the mirror and you become the reflection of yourself. So it's a bit confusing, but I'm interested to see what people think. And I don't know, what do you think, Tim? Do you think people will realize that it's a palindrome? Because it obviously takes place, it's like 2 minutes and however many seconds in that you realize that it's a palindrome. I mean that it even flips and becomes one. Do you think that people would ever like get that naturally, or is that something that you'd have to probably look at the words to realize? So I think so. Yeah, because Mitchell, who's a genius, an actual bona fide genius, he, our guitar player, he realized immediately that it was a palindrome when he heard me recording. He was like, "Hey, you said that and that. Wait," and he flipped it in his brain. But I don't know if I know that I don't, and most people might not have like the spatial ability to hear words and hear the words repeating and then realize that if they flip them, that's what's going on. But I don't know. It's a weird song, and I don't know. I'm never gonna do that again. But it was fun. That's Redivider.